welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. I am Mark Storrs, hanging out, as always, with Mr. Robert Thomas Morphy II.
Yeah.
We're here, dude.
We are.
Virginia Part 6.
No.
We lied.
Fuck, no.
We're going on to Part 6.
Yeah, no, it's never ending. It's the new Virginia pod with Mark and Rob. That's it. That's all it's ever going to happen from now on. Woo.
All Virginia all day long.
No, we're done with Virginia.
Yeah, no, it's in the rear view.
I'm on to a new mystery. Who shit in our fucking studio? Because I keep smelling a phantom shit, and it's really fucking bothering me.
You've smelled it so far, I think, twice, but your visceral reaction of just like, there's a shit, and you're
because it's an alarming thing.
You're like looking for
like
it.
I know what a phantom shit smells like. Well, I know what a real shit smells like. It's a phantom because it keeps disappearing.
Dude,
I mean, our shoes are clear. We're clear. Clear.
I mean, maybe it's a haunting. Maybe we do. That's what happens when you go too deep into Virginia.
Feces past. Come back.
Dude. This is a government op to take us down over our Virginia.
Yeah, I don't come here to play hide and go turd. I come here to hang out with my buddies, fucking talk about monsters.
I believe earlier you called it hide and go poop.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh, man. Thank y'all for joining us, Cryptonaut Podcast. Real quick before we get started here, we have merch, Rob.
We do.
Hellerspace.com, which will bring you to our TeePublic shop.
Yes, it will.
And we also have CryptonautMerch.com, which will bring you to our CrowdMate store. I'm just going to do an extra plug up front because there's always sales going on over at Hellerspace.com and occasionally, too, over at CryptonautMerch.com. So jump on there, check it out. If you get your merch, get a picture of it, put it on the Instagram, tag me, put me in a story, the podcast, not me personally, or you can do that too if you want, and we'll restore it. And it's cool because there's a bunch of people grabbing merch, and I'm just, it's dope that everyone supports us like that. We appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And yeah, so thank y'all for doing that. And this week, Rob, we're going back to our roots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're doing it.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, we're getting there, buddy.
We're
dirty
talking South Side.
Dude, this is pretty cool. I'm super excited about this. We're talking about the wood chomping goose chucker.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds like a band.
It really does.
I kind of want it to be a band. I mean, maybe somebody out there, more talented people, like musicians and shit, could do that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut a 7-inch.
Let
us do guest vocals on it.
Well, yeah, to your chagrin, especially. I mean, you can sing. Chris can sing.
I can growl.
Yeah.
I can scream. You can do the same thing.
I can do some guttural spoken word.
All right, perfect. Well, there it is.
But before we get any further, I do want to give a hearty shout out to our resident researcher, Cole Harold.
What up, Cole?
Who brought this batshit crazy critter to our attention and must be credited with christening the creature the wood-eating Amish country goose grabber.
Oh.
Which for the record is a wonderful name, but I have a fucking burning desire to oversimplify everything, so hence you get the wood chomping goose chucker. We don't utilize Cole's work nearly as much as we ought to, but he is amazing at what he does, and check out his work over at the New World Explorers.
Yes,
is it?
Yeah, the New World Explorers, but it's a blog spot.
Spot.
Yeah,
there it
blog spot. The link for that will be in the description of the podcast.
Absolutely.
We'll hit up, Cole. He's also on the social medias too. You can.
Thank you, Cole, who's who does wonderful work and digs up all sorts of oddball shit that we love.
Yeah, he's brought us so much cool shit. He's the best. So, what up, Cole? Hope you're doing good, my dude. And without further ado, during the scorching summer of 1973, a secluded Pennsylvania Amish community was terrorized by a mammoth mutant monstrosity. In a frightening 3-day flap that would prove to be every bit as brief as it was baffling, making it a small but essential part of one of the strangest series of paranormal events in American history.
So true.
We're talking about the wood chomping goose chucker.
We are.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Virginia Part 8, the wood chomping goose chucker.
Fuck you. For the average American, the summer of 1973 would prove to be one of the more hectic in the nation's history. The first U.S. space station, the ill-fated Skylab, was launched by NASA, who little suspected that in just a few short years, their Pride project would be little more than a massive hunk of space junk waiting to plummet down on some unsuspecting skulls in an all-too-ironic space-age version of Chicken Little. Meanwhile, by mid-July, the Watergate scandal was in full flower as former White House counsel John Dean regaled the Senate Watergate Committee and millions more glued to their TV sets with tales of incriminating events within the Nixon White House. But while the average American was caught in the chaotic grip of watching our criminally corrupt commander-in-chief flounder in his final months in office, there would be a small group of Pennsylvania Amish who were dealing with problems of their own. By and large, they didn't give a red rat's rump about any of our cosmic or political English bullshit. Their main concerns were survival and keeping God happy, as you were wont to do when you were Amish, I assume. But then another worry thrust itself onto the scene in the form of a chimeric creature, something that could only be called a monster, which had crept into their midst.
Oh, when the world's coming down around you, you got monsters coming from
Can't worry about Watergate and Skylab, which, by the way, wouldn't even be a problem for another 6 years, so I don't even know why I bring it up, except that fucking Skylab. How many times does shit drop from the sky into your shit?
I didn't experience it.
I was so tiny at the time, I barely remember it, but I do sort of remember the idea of people making jokes about things falling on your fucking head from space. But I'm not sure if that's after the
given
fact.
the time, you're probably like, not funny, dude. Like, I don't want to get dropped by Skylab.
Especially considering I think there was like a Soviet satellite that like crashed somewhere in Canada, like spewing fucking uranium over God knows how many miles.
Oh.
So it's not exactly unfunny.
Dope. Good times. 70s. Love it.
With 55 separate settlements, Pennsylvania ranks second only to Ohio in sheer number of Amish communities. But while the Buckeye State may be technically numero uno with the Amish, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has them be in another very unique category. Lumber-chewing, multi-horned, razor-toothed monstrosities, of which there appears to be a population of one. But this individual would prove to be more than up to the task of terrifying the local populace and laying the seeds for one of the most menacing legends in northeastern cryptozoology. Occasionally, and decidedly erroneously, associated with the Bigfoot phenomenon, this incomparable cryptid was a bizarre critter that seemed to encapsulate attributes of both a voracious predator, claws, teeth, forward-facing eyes, and succulent prey. Yeah, succulent. That's my adjective for prey. Defensive horns and whatnot. Into a single, super strange hybrid beast. Here's what Cole Harold, again, the guy who brought us this wonderful story, had to say in regards to this case and the monster in question. Quote, as the name implies, it was reported to lurk in the fields, woodlands, and valleys of the middle to southern portion of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has Amish colonies that have, in a way, become one of the state's most notable features. The humble and hardworking societies that dot the state are mostly located in the southern portion of Lancaster County. Lancaster County is, in fact, the largest and oldest Amish community in the United States. I think I added a T to Amish. I apologize to that.
Amish
community,
nice.
With an approximate population of 30,000. They are mostly known for their strong Christian beliefs, salt-of-the-earth lifestyle, simple clothes, and their shunning of modern technology, which results in probably their most famous attribute, their usage of horses and buggies. Though I have found out on TV, an episode of Treehouse Master from years ago, that the Amish are allowed to use power tools as long as they don't fucking own them.
Yeah.
Not owning them's the key. They can bust the fuck out of a farmhouse with all sorts of bandsaws and whatnot.
They can do cell phones too, as long as they don't keep them in the home. And
I didn't know that.
They have. This is what I know from this Amish roof guy that I was working with, who was fucking awesome, and I should have went with him because my roof wouldn't be in the fucking shape it is now.
It happens.
I should have always go Amish. I would call him, and there was like a voice. I would leave him a voice message, and if he was at home, he couldn't answer it. But then the next day, he'd pick it up, leave, and then he would be able to get back to me and call me and stuff.
Honestly, it's not a bad policy in general.
And he had a driver too, which is kind of he didn't drive. He hired a dude that would drive him around like in this sweet fucking
hot damn.
This sweet like big like Dodge Laramie fucking
big
monster
ballin'.
truck, dude.
Big balling with the Amish.
I think his name was Peachy. Actually, he's super cool, dude.
Peachy?
Peachy, yeah. He's super nice.
Dude, you just sweetened the deal.
Dude,
are you
so
sure it
cool.
wasn't a pimp you knew?
It was definitely an Amish dude.
Had a driver.
He had a killer
Had a
beard.
work cell phone that he wouldn't deal with.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay. All
Had
right.
a killer beard. Dope. I love the hat too, man.
Oh, hell
The
yeah.
hat was
How do you not
killer.
love the hat?
And you know what, man? I noticed his boots as well. They were some fucking dope ass boots.
Really?
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah. I was gonna ask him like, where'd you get them? But they're probably handmade or whatever.
You don't know that. I
don't
mean,
know.
You don't not know that
I
either.
don't think he was gonna sell me a pair, basically. So
Okay.
All right, moving on to the Amish.
to finish, and we cannot pronounce the word Amish, apparently, either of us, Cole rounds it out by saying, they are master craftsmen and cooks and have a rich folk life and folk history that is fascinating to study, end quote. So all good shit, fascinating stuff. I mean, like most Americans, especially those that grew up in the 80s, most of what I know about the Amish came from the movie Witness with Harrison Ford.
Oh, yeah.
Not Kelly LeBrock. What was her name? The girl from Top Gun.
I can't remember, but her.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
And I know that eventually you can push Harrison Ford one step too far.
Dude.
And his fist will not be holstered.
Dude.
Just so you know.
Han shot first, dude.
Wow. Every time.
Exactly.
All right. Cole would go on to indicate the difficulty in pinpointing exactly where in Pennsylvania these encounters took place, stating, quote, I stated earlier that this case is very problematic. In many ways, it is beyond problematic that to the point that it is a mess.
Yes, I love these cases.
The beginnings of this are, the beginnings of this are even in the location of the sighting. I guess the beginnings of the problem is what he meant. The first article that was written on this particular beast appeared in the January 1974 edition of the Pursuit newsletter. In the article, and still the reports roll in. I've been trying to dig up copies of Pursuit newsletter through the Internet Archive and other places. I don't have any, but from like the various headlines I found on like Scribed and whatever, not that I want to sign up for shit, it seems like this was a hell of a fucking newsletter for crazy shit that happened, I think, within the United States. But whatever. All right. That's the first place that reported these. In the article, the location of the sightings is in an area known as the Big Valley in Lancaster, PA. Upon doing some digging, there currently is no area in Lancaster, PA known as the Big Valley. However, there is an area in both Mifflin and Huntington County called the Kishacowias. Can I do it American or do I add the Spanish?
Kishacoqualis? Kaisa?
K Valley. We're going to call it K Valley.
Kishacoala Valley.
Kishacowalis Valley, that is referred to as the Big Valley. Oh my God, we are the dumbest.
Don't make me say documentary or documentary, good sir.
I don't even know which one is right or wrong. I think it's documentary.
I thought it was documentary. I guess it's documentary.
You know, when it's about Mook House, it's about documentary. What the fuck is wrong with me?
That stays. Fuck you, that stays.
God damn it.
I'm putting my editorial.
I deserve it. I said it out loud.
My editorial stamp, that fucking stays, motherfucker.
All right, I'll live with that. I can own that.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And it was settled by a group of Amish in 1791, getting to the goddamn point.
Oh, you fucker.
There is still a striving, I think he meant thriving, population of Amish in the area, but maybe they're striving to get by, which is currently around 3,000. This area is around a 2-hour drive from Lancaster, and it could be possible either through the assumption that the Amish witnesses were from Lancaster or simply a misunderstanding that when the article was written up, the location was placed in the wrong area of the state. That I guess this is where it happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Another possibility, even though it is easy to point out this discrepancy, yet to give the writer his due, that there very well could have been an area known as Big Valley in Lancaster, which probably is the case.
Like a local description.
Because all it takes,
going to Big Valley.
You know, if you have two hills, you can call anything you want Big Valley.
Yeah, dude.
You can call. I mean, anybody can name shit that they want to. So
dude,
maybe that's
here in town. We have 3 steps.
We do.
Which actually are gone. I didn't know that.
And it was 3 steps. It wasn't even that special. It was 3 little concrete steps that led to a sort of platform that once upon a time rock and roll bands and old jam bands and occasionally a punk rock show was had.
Yeah.
And one time Nazis were there and our town wouldn't have it. Even, you know.
But that was also the other park down the street.
Yeah. Lots of too much Nazi history in our hometown, frankly.
It's a bit too much.
There's 2 parts of it. It's still too much.
It's the whole thing.
Okay. So fucking Big Valley, somewhere near Lancaster, maybe not, but definitely in Pennsylvania, established.
Love it.
Cole continues. The sighting occurred in 1973, and if this was some locally known name for a particular stretch of farmland or some community itself, the name and location then could be accurate. It is boggling the number of businesses and places that pop up and are shut down because of one reason or another, so this could be an example of that. Trying to find information on this possible hypothesis, however, currently proves fruitless, hence why I refer to the beast as the Amish County Goose Grabber instead of the Lancaster Goose Grabber or the Huntington Goose county goose grabber.
Fair enough.
And why I simplified it even further to the good old wood chomping goose hucker. Excuse me, chucker.
Chucker.
Chomping and chucker. They sort of, they don't rhyme.
No, but
They go together.
It sounds good.
Regardless. Although, now I'm back to me writing. As clearly indicated above, the specific place and date of the first encounter has been lost to the vagaries of time. What we do know is that near sunset on a day sometime in August of 1973, a pair of unnamed Amish brothers were on horseback finishing the day's chores, not once suspecting that their workaday world was about to be turned on its head. It was, as they were completing their final task, loading a barn with hay, that the horses began acting up, bucking and neighing as if they were in the presence of an unseen predator. Trusting their animals' instincts, the brothers scanned the area in the diminishing light, assuming that their horses had been spooked by a wild dog or bear or some other insidious predator. But all they could see was a humanoid figure sprinting toward them from the distance.
Not good.
Not good in our estimation, but here's why it didn't bother them. Although unable to recognize the individual, the brothers assumed that it was a neighbor come to help finish loading the barn, or perhaps a family member sent to inform them that supper was ready, and they therefore paid little attention to the approaching figure. That would change moments later as the vague, hazy silhouette drew closer, revealing itself not to be a human being, but something much larger, perhaps the size of a quote-unquote good heifer.
Okay.
Good-sized heifer.
Okay. Yeah. I just totally smelled the phantom shit.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, it's creeping.
Yeah,
the phantom shit creeps.
It's creeping down.
Is it moving?
I don't know, man. Maybe it has.
What kind of feces?
I don't know.
It's not necessarily people, but not cat.
You're convinced that the cat's
because there's cats
shit
around, and I like to think my sister doesn't shit in her basement, but I don't know.
Maybe it's Peyton.
I can't prove. Yeah, it could be Peyton randomly shitting around the house, claiming territory.
As she wants to do. All right, moving on.
All right, so we're dealing with human-sized heifers.
Yep.
But not really.
Okay.
Heifer-sized. No, it's not even a human. Just a heifer-sized
it's
thing.
A good heifer.
Okay.
All right.
The boys stared in what must have been slack-jawed awe as the massive, long-legged, gray-furred animal with white tufts around its head and neck resembling a mane, and most strikingly, a pair of curved horns like those of a billy goat, seemed to be running directly for them. So you got Beauty and the Beast now, but just a beast.
Yeah, dude.
You've got the aged beast with the full mane, the animal face, and the fucking horns booking towards you bipedally.
Ah, dude.
Years before 1991 or 2 or whenever Beauty and the Beast, the cartoon, came out. And yeah, I'm a fan, so I know.
I liked the series.
Oh, yeah, the one with Linda Hamilton and Ron Perlman?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was solid, too.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I was talking about the Disney cartoon, which is also great.
The cartoon's fine, but, the series.
Yeah, no, the show was all right.
Yeah, the series
All I remember is that they loved in a sewer, they lived in a city. I don't really know much beyond that.
That sewer's going to make your fucking mane stink, dude.
It really is.
Whatever, man. Fucking take a bath. P.U.
So what we got now is a white-maned, gray-bodied, bipedal, billy goat horned creature booking at these two brothers who are on horseback.
All right.
Okay. When it was almost on top of them, the panicked horses bucked their riders off their backs, sending them sprawling onto the hard ground before sprinting away from the now stranded riders. The brothers instinctively knew that there was no way they could outrun the colossal freight train of flesh, fur, and muscle bearing down on them. To make matters worse, it was then that they noticed the brute had a moist maw full of sharp, gnashing, tiger-like teeth and hooked claws that seemed even bigger than those of a grizzly bear. Whether or not the men screamed as the thing arrived is unknown. It certainly would have been a justified reaction for anyone anticipating a brutal disembowelment and death at the hands of an unknown predator, but before they knew it, the bipedal beast had not attacked, but run past them, disappearing into the barn, where, according to some reports, it reemerged just moments later with a chicken being choked in either of its huge, clawed hands. So it's there for your poultry.
All right. I mean, it's hungry, so it's kind of funny that it runs past them like, fuck you, into the barn.
You guys, chicken.
All right, cool.
And, if I had my choice, I'm eating chicken.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Excuse me. This large-horned, ape-like carnivore, passing more than a fleeting resemblance to the Mugato from the original Star Trek. And I don't know if you remember, because I know you're not a Trekkie at all, Mark, but the photos of that old dirty white ape with the giant horn in the middle of its head.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I know that one.
A variation on that.
Oh, cool. All right. Sweet.
Then vanished into a nearby patch of woods without so much as a second glance at the downed farmers. Glad not to be a glistening pile of intestines and dismembered body parts strewn across the yard, the young men wasted no time in getting to their feet and running back to their homestead at what must have been breakneck speeds. Once there, they told their almost certainly perplexed family what they had encountered by the barn. The youths, presumably accompanied by their father, uncles, and other men from the community, traveled back to the scene of the chicken napping, but there was no sign of the beast. The horses, too, kept their distance, as if the smell of whatever had terrified them still lingered in the area. Despite the thing's apparent size, even those among the group who were experienced trackers were unable to find any imprints in the soil, but this was chalked up to the fact that the ground had grown rock hard due to the lack of rain. After some deliberation, the young witnesses understood that this creature, whatever it may have been, was too powerful for them to simply deal with on their own. Had it wanted to kill them, there was nothing they could have done to prevent this, and hoping to eradicate any possibility that this might happen to their friends and family, the two men, hat in hand, went to the local sheriff to make a report. There are no records showing how said meeting went, though one can assume it was awkward and embarrassing. But despite the brothers' selfless willingness to jeopardize their reputations by coming forward to protect their community and all those living nearby, it seems as if no official actions were taken by law enforcement. Which is not to say that a cruiser wasn't sent out, that somebody didn't inspect the field. It's just that in lore,
right,
it has not been passed on which deputy was like given the shit task of go out and try to find the fucking Buffalo Man.
Yep. Okay. Understandable.
Or whatever. So, whatever. We don't know if there was no reaction, but it's a pretty safe assumption. The night after the brothers' brief yet heart-stopping run-in with the beast, a second incident occurred approximately 5 miles from the first encounter. According to this report, a landowner was using a hand scythe to mow down weeds on his property when a horrific shrieking roar echoed through the valley. Now, a hand scythe, not a sickle, because I know I've made this mistake on this podcast before.
Yep.
A hand scythe is just a tiny scythe? A baby scythe?
Yes.
So it doesn't have the curve of the sickle, but it's not a double-handed super scythe.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like what Jason used in I can't remember what part it was. Shit. Oh, it may have been Roy. Roy is Jason, I think. Used
in part 5?
I think so,
In part 5, the one that doesn't count, that I never would have seen anyway, so I can't use it as an example because it blows. That one?
Yeah, motherfucker, that one.
I guess that's why I don't know what a fucking hand scythe is.
Fine. Continuing on, we'll figure out a hand scythe later.
This has been a problem for me in the past. I think I spent an entire fucking pod confusing a sickle and a scythe.
It's okay, man. We're here. We're friends.
No. I mean, it's all right.
It's okay. I'm here for you.
I'm trying to be open.
You are open. You're open and I'm receiving.
A scythe. Wow. And that's why we get along so well. All right. So, fucking dude. Thank you for putting that in my head. What charged from the woods would be the stuff of nightmares. Like the brothers before him, this eyewitness claimed that a huge, gray hair-covered man-like monstrosity exited the woods, making a beeline for him. But this observer added a few additional details, which would only make the completed picture even weirder. For one, he claimed that the creature bore not 2, but 3 distinct horn-like outgrowths on its head. And according to the observer, it also had, and this is a wonderful touch, a long tail.
Dude, the trihorn.
Trihorn.
Fucking sweet tail.
Tailed, hairy.
Okay.
Madness.
All right, I love it.
I do too.
I'm there, dude.
It makes me so happy. It seems likely that the brothers may have missed a single horn in the dusky twilight of the previous night's encounter, but how could they not have seen the tail? Perhaps as they were being charged and unceremoniously dismounted, this detail got lost in the shuffle. Or perhaps, more intriguingly, we're dealing with another member of the same species. Maybe only males have tails and 3 horns, or vice versa. Who knows?
Oh, if they got a breeding population,
I mean, you
can
can't
tell
just
the
have
man by
one.
the horns and the tail. Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, unless it's like asexual and the rarest thing ever, and that it's a population of uno.
Okay. Well, I that's an interesting.
Or it's somebody misseeing it, or who knows what.
Okay, cool.
But I'm throwing it out there.
I like it.
What we do know is that the small, scythe-wielding man proceeded to engage in hand-to-hand combat with his much larger opponent, swinging at the beast with the sharp blade. Within seconds, the antediluvian weed whacker was smacked out of the landowner's hand, leaving him frightened and defenseless. As he moved away, this inhuman apparition did something inexplicable. It began to gnaw at the wooden handle of the garden tool, chewing and swallowing the bits of lumber until all that remained were the metal pieces. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, good on this guy for taking a stand like, fuck you, this is mine. But, man, if you pull a gun on somebody and they eat the stock, you're like, ah, shit.
That's problematic.
This is going to be a problem. All right. Well.
Other accounts claim that the man did not see the beast actually eat the implement, but he found only the blade and bolts in his yard the following day. Either way, at least one investigator would suggest that the reason it felt compelled to consume the wood was, quote, due to the fact that the creature was craving salt because of the summer heat wave, end quote. The fuck?
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know wood was laden with salt. I don't know much about
Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a woodworker. I have no clue, but I guess.
I know. I agree. It's fucked up, though.
Yeah, okay.
I still prefer to think he saw him eat the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I want that to be the case.
I think it's more like an act of dominance. Like, oh, you're going to attack me? I'm going to eat your weapon.
I'm going to eat your weapon. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't chew metal, but this wood's
but guess what?
fucked.
This wood? Yeah, this could be you, motherfucker. Keep it up.
I got to add, and I write here, this description can't help but remind one of the 6-foot-tall hairless wood muncher known as the porch nibbler that was terrifying the citizens of Hearne, Texas in the fall of 1985. Though, adding to that, the idea of a scythe-wielding gardener also brings to mind the exploits of the tusked, pointy-eared, ape-like gray ghost of Kinchafuni.
Yes.
In case someone doesn't remember, and I believe that's way back in episode 30?
I think so, yeah.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
So, I mean, there is precedent to a degree, though not spot on by any means.
The porch nibbler legit ate the porch.
He ate wood.
Yeah, he just
That's
ate it.
and it seemed to have a mouth in the middle of its torso, as I
Yeah,
recall,
and
or it was holding a dog-like thing that ate the wood for it.
It was naked.
Yeah, it was hairless.
Yeah.
I mean, do you call animals naked? You don't go around, look at that fucking rabbit. Get dressed. Throw on some pants, fuckface. Show some decency.
Put a pair of pants. I don't want to see your rabbit dick. How dare you?
Yeah, you don't really call animals naked, so it was, doing what animals do.
No, I think the reason I said naked because it was a naked guy hanging onto a dog. That's what it
that was one of the excuses. You're right. You're right.
There you go.
Here I am trying to defend Mother Nature, and you're like, no, it was a scumbag with a poodle. Fucking.
Listen, put some fucking pants on that raccoon for the love of God. Children are around. Do you want that raccoon to become a sex offender? It'll be put in a list, Rob.
It will be.
Do you want that to happen?
Not for a raccoon.
Okay,
None of the
exactly.
raccoons in my life deserved, except for that one that bothered the physicist who was tripping balls.
Oh yeah.
That raccoon should be on every list.
Okay, yeah, he's problematic.
There's exceptions to every rule.
Okay, there you
That's
go.
the way it works. Yeah. Okay. So we got our gray goose of Kinchafuni.
Yep.
We're moving on now to the third case. In his article about the anatomical anomaly that we refer to as the wood-chomping goose chucker, Cole would write this about the last known sighting of the mulch-masticating monster, quote, the third, final, and arguably most comical encounter with the strange creature occurred at a farm midway between the two previous farms. Again, we don't know where Farm A is, where Farm B is, so Farm C being midway between the two. Hey,
I got
it's fun.
whatever. It's there. You know what happened? There.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, we know it's in Pennsylvania somewhere.
Yeah.
That much we can
And we
say.
know where Pennsylvania is.
No. Well, we do, but we don't know what's beneath it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
edge of the earth. That's where the
It
ice
really
wall
is.
is for NASA with the flat earth.
As far as I'm concerned, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ohio, sorry.
Well, Ohio's not south of Pennsylvania, is it?
No, it's west, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Even I knew that because it's not south of Pennsylvania. Once it's south
West
of Pennsylvania,
Virginia.
I don't know.
Virginia.
Well, technically, Florida I know is south, but I don't know what touches Pennsylvania. You know why? Because no one's supposed to know. If you think you know, that's called geography lies.
Nice.
And you're being taught that by the man. So sheeple, fucking clear your eyes and look at a real map.
I have the document. It's Tennessee. Continue.
Yeah. Peary Reese, bitches. Find a real map. Okay. So we're on to the third and final. An Amish woman was out feeding her chickens and attending to other needs of the farm when she was distracted by the sound of a loud cacophony of fowl noises. This is, again, Cole writing for us. The sound was not the usual honking and clucking she was used to, but the sound as though animals were scared and worried. As she looked up, she saw the creature that her foul friends and food had tried to warn her of. It's weird to think your food is going to warn you of something in the future.
Yeah.
That's a dirty irony that I'm not comfortable with.
They're like, oh God, Gladys, look out. And you're like, what the fuck, Goose?
Oh, I'm going to eat you so much faster than I would.
Oh my God, I'm going to eat the fuck out of you, you dirty duck.
End quote. As the woman glanced up, she spied this massive monster sneaking around her goose pen in what appeared to be an ill-fated attempt at being stealthy. The bestial behemoth reached in, grabbed the biggest two geese by their throats with its huge clawed hands, and furtively pulled them out of the pen as if they weighed next to nothing. Likely satisfied with its underhanded enterprise, the presumably self-satisfied beast glanced up, and that's when he made eye contact with the stunned owner of the ensnared fowl. I like to think that they looked at each other for a full beat before the not-so-sly being suddenly began running for the tree line, honking goose in hand.
Oh, no.
Geese, excuse me. The Amish woman, courageous to the point of being foolhardy, was having none of the beast's shenanigans and immediately took chase, waving her apron and shouting for the creature to stop. The towering beast, evidently more afraid of the woman than it had any right to be, came to a sudden stop, glanced back down at its hands, and with what one must assume was only a fraction of its strength, reared back and chucked one of the geese at the screaming woman.
Dude, he just threw it at her?
Threw it at her. The waterfowl hit its target with amazing accuracy, sending the poor woman flailing ass over tea kettle, whereupon she landed in a heap on top of her presumably deceased goose.
He fucking just beamed her with a goose?
Stops, looks, checks his hands, hucks back, and fucking flings that goose.
I like that it's accurate.
Boom.
I love that it's accurate.
And you can see this explosion of feathers and this woman just flailing backwards going, the fuck?
Oh, man. Dude, it's like when Fabio got hit in the head by a bird. Remember, dude?
Yes, I do.
There's just a fucking puff. Oh, my God.
This is like a scene out of like a fucking classic Monty Python bit or something. It's just like, you don't expect it, and then
no,
and it just
you know what?
Explodes everywhere.
I got that wrong. The puff I'm thinking of was there was
Randy, the fucking big pitcher shooting.
Big unit. Yeah, dude, he threw a ball.
Randy fucking Newman. He was out there with a piano singing about fucking toys, and then he just chucked the ball.
It was Randy Johnson. Yeah,
yes.
Dude, big unit, dude. He pitches and he just decimates a bird.
Just explodes.
Just the fucking worst thing ever. Like at that point, I'd be like, is that a strike? Like
at this point, I was just wishing that Fabio got hit in the head at some point.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right there, silly goose. Let's continue.
As she lay with the wind knocked out of her, she could only watch as the creature stole away with its feathered prize, never to be seen again.
She made the attempt.
She gets one goose at least. I mean, chasing after it, yeah, maybe she might have lost some ribs, but she got one goose back.
I mean,
and that counts when you're feeding a family.
If the entire body is just like, just decimated.
I'd love to think it exploded in like gore and feathers and mayhem, knocked her back 7.5 feet.
Oh,
like
God.
In a perfect world, this thing absolutely fucking imploded as soon as it hit her, and just fucking, it was a nightmare.
Oh God!
And she had like literally a goose that was like 3 inches square by the time she was done.
All right.
While this flap was undeniably brief, involving just 3 incidents and 4 eyewitnesses, all hailing from a relatively isolated community, it bears noting that, in a broader context, it took place in the midst of one of the strangest paranormal flaps in Pennsylvania history. Legendary Keystone State author and investigator Stan Gordon had boots on the ground and was reporting numerous unusual occurrences that seemed to involve both orbs, UFOs, and unknown bipedal primates that were in many ways similar to, but not exactly like, vintage Bigfoot-style creatures. In 2010, Gordon's book, Silent Invasion, the Pennsylvania UFO Casebook, which I think everyone should own if you don't get it.
Oh, it's awesome, yeah.
Covered many of these cases, as did Seth Breedlove's 2017 documentary based on that work, essentially, Invasion on Chestnut Ridge, which was on Prime. I don't know where you can find it. Probably Tubi.
Yeah, I think it might still. I know I watched a lot of the small town monster stuff. I just bought them on Amazon.
Did you buy them?
Yeah, but
Most of them were free for the longest time.
They were free, and then when they went to you had to own them, I was like, yeah, fuck it, because they had like the Flatwoods one that I liked
just
a
the other
lot.
day I watched the Flatwoods.
Yeah, that one,
I
love the animation on that one. It's fucking
It's good.
so cool. It's so dope. Yeah, small
But
town monsters.
you can still like sign up for free, watch a couple of commercials on Tubi.
Yeah.
And some of them are also on YouTube.
Totally. There you go.
A great many of these encounters were reported from Pennsylvania's Westmoreland County and the surrounding environs, and involved huge, often gray-haired humanoids with three-toed tracks, pointed ears, and most intriguingly, glowing red eyes. On August 17th, 1973, a man driving near Route 30 in Kingston reported to the police and Stan Gordon that he almost hit a gorilla-like creature with his car. The witness said that the creature had pointed ears, red glowing eyes, and screamed like a man in pain. Then on August 25th, 1973, a woman in a Westmoreland County trailer park saw a huge black creature around 7 feet tall as it ripped open an electrical box attached to the trailer. A woman resident, not presumably the key eyewitness, but a different one, screamed, and the creature fled, leaving behind three-toed footprints. Things got even wilder when, on August 27th, 1973, a woman saw a boomerang-shaped UFO hovering over a heavily wooded area near Beach Hill in Greensburg. Simultaneously, her husband then saw a large, hairy, bipedal creature and shot it at point-blank range with no apparent effect.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof Bigfoot.
I love it.
These are just the tip of the proverbial iceberg when it comes to odd reports emanating from Pennsylvania that summer. So while the tiger-toothed, three-horned, sometimes tailed, sometimes not, gray-haired creature was seen 3 nights in a row by, I assume, a single Amish community in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
All around. Red-eyed, pointy-eared, three-toed, fuck-alls.
Dude, Stan Gordon has a ton of stuff.
Oh, my God.
All the stuff that he chronicles. Yeah, on his website, actually, you can look at a lot of it for free.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's fascinating.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And he does great work and has for years and years, from Kecksburg on, basically.
It's awesome.
One particularly arresting event took place at the end of the summer. At about 9:30 p.m. on the night of September 27th, 1973, so I guess a full month after the last one we talked about, a pair of unidentified girls were standing alone in a densely wooded rural region of Westmoreland County waiting for a ride when a, quote, white hairy creature with red eyes, end quote, that stood nearly 8 foot tall emerged from the thicket holding a luminous white sphere. After safely arriving home, one of the girls' fathers went out into the woods to see what he could make of their story. He was gone for over an hour, during which time numerous eyewitnesses claimed to have seen a UFO above the forest. In a disturbing twist, reminiscent of classic nightmarish horror flicks like the original Invaders from the fucking Mars, Mark. I just said that out loud.
Look, we have not smelled the phantom
1953.
shit in a while, so let's just keep it. There's no phantom shit currently.
The girl's father returned from his jaunt a changed man, as if he was an invader from the Mars.
So was that the Westmoreland Wild Man?
Oh, it sure as fuck was.
Okay, cool.
Is that episode 174 of the Cryptonaut podcast? Believe.
Oh, you got it right.
Fuck
there.
yeah, I do.
Oh shit, you're so good, dude. You're on top of it.
So he
it.
didn't explode. Oh, I smell the shit too.
No,
all right, fuck it. You know what?
I haven't smelled it.
I'm gonna probe through the shit. I just smelled it.
Now?
Yeah, I just did.
No, I said I didn't smell it, and then
now I smell a mothball.
And now it made an appearance. I claimed I didn't smell it.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden it came back.
Fucking polter feces. All right, so we're losing track of this. Fucking dude went into the woods.
Yep.
His daughter saw some crazy shit. He didn't come back for an hour. There was a UFO. Some people said it was like a weird plane. Other people said it was fucking something different. Flying over the woods. He comes back a different person.
Yep.
And he becomes obsessed with apocalyptic and prophetic texts.
I remember this, yes.
And so this is 1973. So, I mean, you can find some paranormal texts, but like a blue-collar dad is not necessarily going to be like, and now I'm suddenly into Nostradamus.
Yeah, dude, it happens to the best of us, man. You know, sometimes it happens.
I like the Steelers, Nostradamus.
Yeah, dude.
The Book of Revelations. That's my thing now.
I think we got Eagles fans here for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah.
while the tri-horned, tiger-toothed, bear-clawed, poultry-hucking monster that evidently invaded Amish country during that same period seems to be its own unique phenomenon, it's impossible not to put it into the context of the larger UFO monster flap and with the evident associated thinning of the veil that allegedly took place in the already monster-rich Pennsylvania during 1973. As to what exactly was going on during those long months, and those 3 nights in particular, is anyone's guess. But odd though this cryptid may be, the Big Valley's wood-chomping goose chucker is not without its precedence in the wild, weird, and often woolly world of Fortean fauna. As Cole indicates in his article, there are obvious comparisons to be made between it and more infamous fiends like the often bridge-dwelling goatmen that dot the continental U.S., as well as the notorious sheepman of Waterford. Cole writes, quote, I've heard it referred to as a Bigfoot, goatman, horned tiger, what a great name, and a totally unknown beast. And to this day, no one is sure what was lurking around the Amish homesteads. The creature I've come to dub the wood-eating Amish country goose grabber is a weird chimeral beast that to me does not match any known cryptid. It bears a resemblance to creatures we know like the sheep squatch, Bigfoot, goatmen, and even to some extent the fictitious Ozark howler. Yet there are features about it that are left up to interpretation, and because of this the creature can appear extremely bizarre and different than all of them, end quote. Leaving behind the cryptozoological, one must always leave space for the Dark Lord.
Oh, we're going Satan?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Cole surmised, quote, another possibility is obviously that the creature could be a demonic creature or supernatural beast. There are obviously those of a more religious mindset that would view this creature as some agent engaged in spiritual warfare against the faith-oriented community. Which makes sense. I mean, that's what the Amish are built on.
Actually, that is a good point there.
It is also worth noting that goatmen or goat-like creatures are constantly connected with evil or dark forces of nature, and since this creature seemed to act aggressively in 2 of the accounts, it is always possible that this could be the case here. It is unlikely, however, as the way the community treated the creature. They viewed it as a biological animal and, from what we can glean from the article, not some supernatural threat requiring prayer or some other dogmatic rite of exorcism to rid themselves of the bizarre aberration, end quote. Valid points.
Totally.
That having been said, he managed to stumble across another legend that just may have fruit to bear in terms of this investigation. Again, going back to Cole. While doing research on this subject, I did come across a creature known as the goat baby.
Oh my God.
The goat baby.
All right. I'm so excited.
This creature is a supernatural beast that was birthed by an Amish woman named Ruth and a man named Ezekiel. So uncommon for Amish people.
Yeah, no,
to
totally.
be named Ezekiel.
Yeah.
From Lancaster, who had sex outside of wedlock. Not within the bonds of ring-bearing fucking, or stranger says I do's marriage, out of wedlock.
They fucked in wedlock, all right.
The case occurred on the show Amish Hauntings. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I just first read the case occurred on the show. I'm like, the fuck it did on a program, a live show?
There's a show called Amish Haunt. Oh my God.
Let's struggle with
Amish
this. I know
Hauntings?
yes, the Amish. No,
the Amish Hauntings. It's a
I've
show?
seen that, yes.
Whoa, man.
Well,
okay.
I mean, they're going to be haunted too.
No, I know, but I need to. I'm obsessed with. I'm upset with myself. I didn't know about this.
Oh, check Travel.
Okay,
Travel
cool.
Channel has everything.
All right,
Weird.
I'm fucking Amish hunter or Amish haunting.
Oh, geez, great. We suck. We can't. We shouldn't even be allowed to speak.
We're having a tough time. It's dry down here.
We are.
There's a phantom poop. We're all having mouth
I
issues.
just thank God we're not dealing with Mennonites. I'd be fucking up everywhere.
All right, man. Amish haunting. What
Amish
happened?
hauntings,
All
and
right.
featured the granddaughter of a woman who claimed to have given birth to the creature around the 1930s. She claimed that the early days of the creature's life were cared for by the grandfather, whose sole duty was to keep the beast quiet and to stop it from escaping. That sounds like livestock.
Yeah, it sure
The
does.
mother of the beast, however, first off, you're not going to attach yourself to this kid if you keep calling it the beast. No matter
It's
what.
a fucking goat baby, dude. Born a wedlock.
Yeah, but if you give it, if
when you fuck outside the purview of Jesus, guess what happens? You get a goat baby.
I know, but if you keep calling it the beast, you can't bond with it.
You're not going to bond with it.
But you want to bond with it.
You're going to put it in the sewers of New York where it ends up becoming the beast.
Jesus fucking Christ,
Yeah, exactly.
dude. I almost threw up in my mouth. Thank you.
I was wondering why you moved away from the mic so quick.
Oh, my God. The mother of the beast. All right.
All right, mother of the beast.
However, wanted to train her child to be more what her beliefs should be and proceeded to take the creature to church. As a baby, however, the beast cried and fussed.
And you can't
as an emissary of Satan, I mean, you got to
bring
include
a
that.
goat baby to church. What are you doing?
I know. What the fuck are you thinking? And
wrong with
escaped
you?
its mother's arms, revealing the hooved monster to the church congregation.
Tis a goat baby.
It's a goat.
Remove the goat's child
Billy
now.
has hooves.
Billy,
Kill
really?
it. I know. It's a little on the nose. Is it too much?
Like I said, kill it.
Yeah.
The children then beat it to death.
Oh.
And the goat baby died.
The result was the family was shunned. And the creature, after a horse and buggy chase, escaping into the woods. All right, so I guess the family was shunned and the creature was chased by a horse and buggy.
Yeah.
Not just dudes on a horse that could be faster.
It seems like a horse.
I mean, if you're going to chase the devil, why would you need to hook up the buggy?
I mean, it can't run that fast.
Unless
really.
you're, all you have outside the church are buggies, and you're like, it would take me longer to disengage the horse.
It's a baby.
I got to ride the buggy.
If it's a baby, babies are slow
But
as
it's
fuck.
a devil baby
I
named Billy.
I can outrun a baby.
Well,
Do you want to see me outrun your nephew? I will.
devil baby?
Yeah.
He's 4. He is fast.
I will fucking outrun him. Watch me.
Chances are you could Usain Bolt the fuck out of him, but that's not the
me
point.
and Liam, we're having a foot race.
All right,
Yeah.
fine. This will prove nothing in terms of diabolical leg strength, but whatever. Beat my nephew, feel good.
Yeah, I will.
While
There you go.
vaping.
Yeah.
Gonna kick your ass, kid. So
Oh shit.
this could be a fucking goat baby.
All right,
but we're not even done yet.
I like the goat baby. The goat baby's
there's a buggy
cool as
chase. It goes away. Oh, okay. So the creature now allegedly attacks both people and livestock when winter comes. And an offering of warm food is placed out to appease the creature. The creature even has some eyewitnesses, such as fellow Amish Jebediah and Mervyn Troyer, who supposedly heard both the beast's cries and hooves, as well as experienced the loss of a prized goat, which they claim was the result of the goat baby.
Did the goat baby grow up? The goat baby became a goat man, and then he stole the goat and fucked it.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's definitely a love goat situation.
Dude, for real.
Yeah, when you get older, you have nourishment. You need food. You need shelter.
Yeah.
You need love.
You need to fuck.
And you're going to steal someone's prized goat and fuck the shit out of it. When you're a demonic goat baby, not, an average dude.
All right, cool.
I'm assuming. I mean, I can't speak for all average dudes.
Oh, shit.
When all is said and done, it should come as no surprise to any 14 aficionado that as bizarre a creature as the wood-chomping goose chucker is said to be, he has more origin stories than actual eyewitness accounts. And while we may be dealing with an enigmatic entity that manages to simultaneously breach the realms of cryptozoology, ufology, let's not forget, there was lots of UFOs in 1973.
Yeah, no, there's a whole
fucking
thing.
Stan can tell you all about him, Mr.
Yeah,
Gordon.
For sure.
And demonology, the fact remains that based on what people actually saw, and despite its predatory attributes, this thing seems to have been confused, hungry, and even more intimidated by human beings than they were of it, leaving us to wonder all these years later just what the hell was this vexatious varmint, and why were its visits so brief and baffling, to call back to the first paragraph, before it seemingly disappeared off the face of the earth. So, there's a lot to unpack here, obviously.
Yeah.
We've got goat babies. We got demons. We've got aliens, potentially. We've got cryptozoological factors. And, of course, it is, in essence, a cryptid. We've got the whole flap that was going on in 1973, including the fucking invasion of Chestnut Ridge.
Yeah, yeah.
And the whole silent invasion
there's
book that
other weird bipedal sightings in the area
Stan
as
Gordon
well,
wrote.
too.
And, like, there's that famous one where the guy and the twins went up, and we're probably going to do this eventually, went up to a hill, and there was this like 8-9 foot tall glowing-eyed Bigfoot, but when you shoot them, they're invisible, and there's a UFO thing.
Yep.
I mean, eventually we'll probably get to that, but lots of flying saucers, lots of orbs, fucking weird red-eyed things with luminous orbs in their hands that torment girls and make, otherwise fucking, football watching normal dads want to fucking read prophetic visions and act like weirdos the rest of their life. This is a weird time to be in mid-Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania.
Just, as you're saying, just given the sheer amount of like the UFO sightings and everything, where that kind of throws like the fucking curveball into the whole shit, because you're like, well,
Oh,
fuck,
it really does.
Immediately that opens up extraterrestrial.
Because that's the thing, say, Mrs. Leeds and the fucking Jersey Devil don't have.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's
exactly
paranormal,
yeah.
and if you want to be very biologically and naturalistically driven, cryptozoological. Yeah. It's an animal that has yet to be identified, that happens to live here, that has been associated with apocryphal legends of, women giving birth to monsters. And if you want to be like very religious or superstitious, you can be like, oh no, it's a diabolical creature that was given form by the devil using, the genetics of a woman and a goat and fucking 7 other things to make the Jersey Devil. What that doesn't have is a fucking giant UFO flap in the fucking center of it.
Yeah, because I was.
This does.
I didn't realize it was even tied into that, so I was going full throat cryptozoology. I'm like,
and that's how
weird.
It starts.
It does. The thing with that though was like, all right, you've only really got 2 sightings.
3.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3. Yep, barn.
Yeah. 4 people, 3 sightings.
4 people, 3 sightings. Okay,
so
yeah.
two brothers, and it gets some chickens and scares the fuck out of them and their horses. A dude with a hand scythe,
right,
who isn't attacked, even though he is actively trying to stab the creature and slice it open.
Given the sheer size of this thing, it could easily
have ripped these fuckers limb from limb.
Just dismembered them on
but
sight.
Did not, and that's a key thing to remember.
Dude, it ate a scythe, it threw a goose, and then...
which is the best.
The goddamn goose is my favorite.
One of the greatest moments. And this is what makes me want to have a TV show, just so I can see that in live action.
Yeah, and all it's really doing is just getting food.
That's it.
It's just showing up and being that big.
Oh, and I love how it's trying to be sneaky as fuck. Like, I just grabbed these 2. It's like, you'll never hear me or see my giant 8-foot ass grab 2 geese.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So it's not acting animalistic in the sense that like it would attack these people. 100. Like if this was like a mountain lion or something, it would just eviscerate you.
Sure.
But
animals, by and large, it is. So animals, by and large, period, I guess, it is acting animalistically is what I wanted to try and say, because animals, by and large, I'm saying the sentence right, will avoid the fuck out of you.
Right.
Like animals that can kill you, but unless it's a starving grizzly or a mother animal protecting its young,
right,
or it's starving, will go out of their way to avoid you. So a predatory animal can be like, fuck you, I don't want to mess with you.
This runs past 2 dudes into a barn, gets some chickens and jets.
That's interesting. It's hungry enough to go for chickens, but it's not, even though it's got claws like a bear and teeth like a tiger, and that's direct quotes, I think, taken from the original Pursuit account.
Yeah. The
newsletter we were talking about earlier. Something that's equipped with those things would seem to be a predator, period.
It wouldn't care about you at all.
Now, it's weird that it has horns, because predators don't generally have horns, and prey animals or herbivores, if you want to be specific, don't usually have like gnashing sharp teeth and claws. If it's an alien, let's just throw this out there. If it's an alien and it's learned to evolve past its base instincts, doesn't mean it wouldn't be stuck here and starving and looking to eat something, but it's smart enough to know that I don't want to kill other intelligent beings. I will kill lower life forms. Not that, of course, if you're a vegetarian especially, you got to think, well, that's still a shitbag move. But most of us would agree it's preferable to killing a human being. So thank you for that.
Yeah, they chose to eat.
And it goes out of its way to like get these chickens.
They chose to eat livestock instead of people.
If it eats them, we don't even know it eats them, but assuming, yes.
Right. And if it's gathering them for experimentation.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it's weird.
But I don't think that's the case. I think you're right. I think it's acting out of hunger.
And
desperation.
Yeah. Or, I guess then, if it was extraterrestrial and it was just interested in, no, that wouldn't make any sense really. Just like, chickens, like of all the things to grab. Like
this doesn't strike me as a creature that is like, I'm here, I'm landed, I'm going to collect some rocks because that's what all aliens do. I'm going to do some normal bullshit. I'm going to, abduct a few people and, play with their womb, and I need chickens for this other experiment I'm running that you don't know about. Don't worry about it. Yeah. This strikes me as like, I'm fucking here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Almost as if like in a Mothman scenario, it ends up from another dimension or another place, like poof, it's here. And it's like, I don't know where the fuck here is. I vaguely recognize this, but when I smell this creature, it smells like prey items on my world.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry as fuck.
Totally.
These things come off as semi-intelligent, or either that or they're more complex. I don't want to eat these things. These things strike me as dangerous. These things being human from its perspective.
Where's the livestock?
So fuck these people and fuck these giant horses, but a chicken or a goose, I'm okay with.
Totally.
That's
Yeah.
what strikes me as going on. But I mean, that's based on no facts. Just
And I guess obviously there is. I was trying to think like, could this something have been like misidentified or whatever, like a bear or some shit? Yeah, I mean, there's always a classic bear walking on two legs,
or a bear accidentally got into some like hunter's house and he had like some ram skin hanging up that had the horns attached and it ended up lodged on its head.
Oh, really?
So it's a bear with like weird ram horns.
Yeah, true.
But now it's walking bipedally because it's got like a burr in its front paw. Like, I mean, what length do you need to go to make this?
You kind of can
a misidentified animal.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that you can't even. There's nothing to be misidentified with. Also too, obviously the idea of a hoax here that we always entertain. I don't really see the Amish as being the type to hoax something like this.
Not generally.
It doesn't behoove them at all.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're going to make a buck off it.
No, but although I will say this, if we go to the goat man, the goat baby.
Well, there's goat baby and goat men mentioned in
the
this.
goat man's different. I'm going to the goat baby because that is like an Amish tale.
Sure.
Of like, oh, don't fuck outside of Jesus's eyes, or guess what? You produced the goat baby.
That's true.
So that's like a like one of those lore tales.
Do you want to teach the goat baby the way of the Lord? Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's going to cry in church, and you are going to be fucking banned from the church, or whatever they call it, shamed away.
If it's using some sort of like, what's it called, like a fable or whatever, right?
Parable.
A parable.
Same difference.
Yeah, same shit. Like don't bang outside of wedlock, or you're gonna make a goat baby. So there's
but
that.
This seems to be a far cry from, and this is what happens to goat babies eventually. Like that to me is a huge leap of assumption when it's just trying to be one of those things of why kids don't go swimming in said lake, or why they don't go playing in the woods, because a legend is built around it.
If this is like the final form of the goat baby, like wow.
Well, yeah, it's trying hard.
Came a long way.
It grew.
He put work in.
Yeah, smoked some Virginia Slims. He ate a meth lab. Fucking, he's for real now.
I mean, I guess ever since you mentioned the whole Stan Gordon 73, I'm kind of going extraterrestrial with this, because there isn't really. If there was no UFO sightings in the area, especially with the Westmoreland wild man with that whole thing. Because creatures like that were seen in the area, and they were attached to extraterrestrial vehicles allegedly. So,
but it has to be mentioned again. The wood chomper here, for just to simplify the name,
right,
did not necessarily have ears you could see, so it didn't have pointy ears.
Okay.
It did not have glowing red eyes.
True.
The creatures that were often reported to Stan Gordon did not have horns.
Or tails.
Or tails, for that matter. You're absolutely right. So the only thing that really associates the two, and it's a big association, by the way, is that they are much larger than human-sized, covered in gray hair, and are humanoid, which are big associations, but you're missing on some of the key details.
Yeah.
So to instantly associate the wood chomper with a lot of the creatures that were being, including the one used, the Westmoreland wild man, and other things that we've covered before. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it definitely needs to be included because it was a UFO flap with big gray hairy humanoids, and the horns 3 or 2 are a huge add. The tail is a huge add.
Yep.
So this might make it a little bit different. Who was also to say that it wasn't, like say a thinning of the veil, a dimensional window gap where things came through and they didn't all look identical.
Yeah.
Maybe hairy gray things are the norm in this other plane of existence, and some of them end up looking like red-eyed, pointy-eared Bigfoot, and other things look like big-tailed Magudos or whatever the thing was from Star Trek that I was talking about earlier.
Or maybe like the Virginia incident, calling back to that 5-part series, what if these were just happened to be mindless animals on the fucking UFO ship?
Oh, so a UFO comes down and they're sending their animals out to graze, as it will?
Yeah. We are the SPC of the universe.
It would be weird.
Yeah,
wouldn't it be weird?
Really weird.
That's so fucked up.
Especially if it was the Virginia aliens in the fucking in the ship, and they're looking to come back. About 96 are coming back, boys. We'll come and see you then.
They're like, we can't let these guys out. They're covered in plague. Don't you know?
I do like the demonic angle, though.
Well, who doesn't?
You kind of got.
That's part of the fun.
Fun, yeah, because you're like, oh, it's fucking wood.
That's the Aleister
It's
Crowley.
a wood demon, dude. Like something dope.
All right, go with it. Tell me about the wood demons.
I mean, I guess if it is demonic, I'm going to go with the angle of the goat baby.
Okay.
So this woman and man this man and woman had sex outside of wedlock, and they were cursed with the goat baby.
Right.
So clearly Jesus is like the curse or whatever. You got the goat baby.
Okay.
As like punishment. So then, is that really demonic though? If God punishes you with a goat baby?
Yeah, of course it is.
But I mean, the devil didn't punish you.
If the God punishes you with a monster baby, you have to assume it's demonic.
That the baby's demonic?
Listen,
the Minotaur wasn't necessarily demonic. He was just hanging out in a fucking maze.
Let me say that.
Wait, or am I
for the record? No, you're not. I mean,
okay.
no, but the Minotaur was. I mean, it was a mutant of sorts. But you're right. You can't go with Greek mythology. That's not necessarily demonic in a Judeo-Christian sense.
True.
Obviously, I don't think everyone that has sex out of wedlock has demon babies. Obviously, most of us are that.
I mean, we have a couple.
Almost all of us are a product of that kind of exposure. But if you're going to live in a culture that really, really reveres, marital bliss, and then the accompanying childbearing that happens after that, and so you're trying to like shy people away from it, then you label these things as demonic. So in that kind of labeling context, it is demonic. Do I think that it is, strictly speaking, demonic? No. But then again, as I've said many times on this podcast, I don't technically believe in demons.
Ah, shit. Yeah,
but they're, maybe. But then what's a demon? Is a demon created? Is a demon a fallen angel? Is a demon something that Satan created to populate hell and torture damn souls? Or is a demon any old fucking thing that looks weird that is half goatish on earth? I mean, it becomes a really nebulous thing.
It kind of does.
I don't think this thing is honestly, a demon, dude, nor do I believe in the goddamn goat baby.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. And I'm just going to say this too. The whole demon goat fucking devil thing is hack as shit.
It's hack as shit.
It's fun.
That's Native American burial ground hack.
It's fun.
Like that shit was tired in 78.
But I'm not going to see a goat and be like, oh, it's a fucking emissary of the devil.
I can't.
I think I'm going to stick with demon, I think. I'm going to stick with some
If anything, the mom was doing its best to raise it as a good Christian goat baby. So cut her some fucking slack.
You know?
Sure, she and Ezekiel were feeling a little bit frisky. It's human nature. She was trying to do right by that motherfucking baby.
What if they eventually got married? Then is God like, oops, sorry.
Just take the horns away?
Yeah, really? Is it still
no? Because it's a parable that says don't fuck out of wedlock, and it's not real.
You always gotta fuck out of wedlock.
Always,
you can't
every
get
time.
Married without fucking.
Come on, you gotta test the waters.
Yeah,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Like for a while.
Oh my God! If the first time you fuck is on your wedding night, then how do you ever get good at it?
Yeah, that would suck.
Plus, one person's got to know better. I mean, we're all, I think, lucky enough. At least I was lucky enough to have an experienced lover for my first time, and I'm like, I don't know shit. Thank you for teaching me everything there is to know, and then I could pass this knowledge on, and that's how the cycle works. And you're not just going like two virgins like hitting each other like it's a cardboard sword fight.
That's how we make more people.
It's terrible.
All right, Rob,
terrible idea.
So what is your take? What is your take on this?
I think this is an interdimensional entity.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Much like the lonely Mothman that sat on fucking Linda whatever's fucking rooftop and wept in the rain while she was terrified of it, but it was like going, I don't have a friend, I don't have any food, I don't know why the fuck I'm here.
Okay.
It's trying its best not to hurt anybody.
Yep.
And it could have. If it wanted people food, it's got people food in abundance. Definitely. All four of those eyewitnesses should have actually been the victims of a serial killer that went unsolved. It should have been like the Amish slayings of 73. There'd be like 16 documentaries on Netflix and Hulu, and nobody would ever fucking know. But that's not the case because it's this big, hairy, horned fucking wild man. It's like, I'm going to eat your chicken and fucking goose, but I'm not going to bother with you. I'm just going to throw a goose at you. I'm going to make you fucking fall off your horse, but I'm not here to kill people.
Okay.
And that eventually it was able to slip back through the nebulous void into its own world where it has, I don't know, whatever fucking Cheetos and fucking, ramen, whatever it eats. And it goes home and fucking does that. And it's like talking about the times where it's like, there's these hairless people and they're kind of small and they don't have horns and they're terrifying and they chase me and they ride fucking four-legged monsters. And this guy's thought of as a crazy fucker in his own realm.
All right.
And that's what's happening.
I like the fact that you went interdimensional. I dig that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Cool.
When this happened, this officially shows you Chris has been off for too long.
Yeah.
I went full on interdimensional without your help, and you're fucking completely grounded in something.
Oh shit! There it is. Well, there you have it. Thank you all so very much for joining us. The Cryptonaut podcast, the wood chomping goose chucker. There you have it. And again, thank you to
Thank you to Cole
Harrell. Check him out over there. The New World Explorers. It is at Blogspot. Or WordPress, I'm pretty sure it's Blogspot. The link will be in the description of the podcast.
He definitely digs up really obscure, weird cases.
Oh my God, dude!
Like a perfect
and sometimes they have. Does he have art for this?
Oh, yeah, of course he does.
Awesome. I
Art
fucking
is
definitely-
in abundance with Cole's work because Cole draws something for almost everything he does,
Yeah.
and he's a great artist
Oh, he
too.
is.
On
He's-
top of it,
his
so
wicked. No, his
it's worth it to check out his shit just for that alone.
Yeah, I will definitely use that for this episode. So the Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks, the social medias, we're out there. We're doing it. Meta's a company that we all got to deal with, but we're just making it a part of our life. We're just making it fucking happen. The DMs are open. Get a hold of us there. The t-shirts and the merch, Robert. HowlerSpace.com, which is our TeePublic shop, or CryptonautMerch.com, which is our crowd made. Check it out. If you buy something, take some pictures, put it on the social medias, tag me, do a story, do whatever. I love checking it out. It's awesome. We always repost everybody's shit.
We love it.
So be sure to check it out there. Thank you to everyone that supports us. Patreon, Robert. We offer it.
We do.
Patreon.com/Cryptonaut.
And it's worthwhile because,
totally.
I mean, once you're already on, once you've already sponsored us in Patreon just the tiniest bit, you get all sorts of perks.
You do. And Robert, we're going to do those shout-outs right now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's pretend I was ready for it. I remember we do it at the end. Okay. Hey, beginning with Mike Hansen.
Thank you, Mike.
Michael. God bless you.
What up?
When your mom gave birth to you, I didn't think you were going to show up for us, but then you did.
Yeah.
God bless.
Thank you.
Aaron Ladner.
Hell yeah, Aaron.
Aaron, I always knew you'd be there for us, unlike Mike, who I didn't trust at first, but now I'm cool with. I'm sorry,
dude.
Mike. I mean, I believe in you now, but at first I didn't know if you were
You're
going to
just
come
creating scenarios that don't exist, man.
through. Jacob Rusum.
Thank you, Jacob.
I wanted to call you Rosum, but then you specified that it's pronounced Rusum.
Yeah.
You? I'm still a little leery about.
Oh, Jesus. That's the longest Patreon shout-out ever.
Hannah P.
Thank you, Hannah.
You don't want to give us your last name? That's fine. We'll find it out. We'll find it out in our own time. So when you try to be secretive and keep us out of the loop, that's really shady. So let's just pretend I'm not offended and move on.
Fine.
Hannah P.
Okay.
Lacumus.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I know you're a Lord of the Nethers, and you don't usually show up to listen to podcasts. So when you do, and you come here and you use Earth technology and you slum to hang out with us, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lacumus.
Okay.
Black Ice, you're dangerous. You're dangerous for cars. You're dangerous for hockey players. But I still respect the fact that you listen to our podcast.
Thank you, Black Ice.
Trenton Passmore,
Hell yeah, Trent.
you know how I feel. You know exactly what's going on.
You had an entire thing with everybody.
I'm not here to judge the things you've done in your past. Hey, we all have a past, but you know and I know. Let's just move on from here and try not to make eye contact. Thank you, Trenton Passmore.
Wow, there it is. An entire storyline for Patreon shoutouts. Again, that is patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast. $1 is the shout out and the one bonus audio. $5 is the shout out and the however many Sundays we got in the month.
Sometimes even more. We drop 6.
Depends.
Sometimes we just get balls out, but at the very least 4.
Yeah, there's all that audio over there. They both get you access to the Discord, so be sure to check that out.
Yeah, which is super hype and fun.
Yeah, totally. So there it is. Thank you again, everyone, listeners, coast to coast, worldwide, across the fucking country, across the pond, across Europe.
The realms. What is the Pacific called? Like the Atlantic's the pond? Is that called I don't know, the creek?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
The dip?
The dip, yes.
Cross the dip.
What I was trying to say is thank you to all of our listeners out there for showing up every week, listening to the show and supporting us. We appreciate it. Without
means
y'all,
the world.
we couldn't have the show.
Could not.
We need you guys there to
The
listen.
shit would fail miserably without your support. Thank you. Thank you for being there for us. Whether or not we're going, into fucking deep dives in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Or just randomly dipping into the fucking weird of the Pennsylvania Amish. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. And we hope you join us next week when we're going to get crypto again.
All right. Oh, we got 2 cryptos back to back?
Yeah. I got we've done aliens for a little bit. We got some monsters and some weird shit.
Oh, really?
That aren't ufological but aren't monster related.
Okay, I'm excited. Shit.
Paranormal is what the kids call it.
Oh, we're doing paranormal.
Oh, we got all sorts of shit coming up.
Oh, wow. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I got a docket. And I'm writing my tits off, and I'm loving every bit of it.
Yes, I love it. All right, man. Well, there it is. Thank you all so very much. Be talking to you soon.
Be well. Keep your eyes peeled. Support us continually, and God bless. Except for you, Mike. We know what we're talking about.
Again with Mike.
God damn it, Mike Hansen. All right. Well, you know what? I'm calling a truce. Me and Mike. It's
all right,
a truce.
there it is. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. Bye.
Until the next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, friends.